Coronavirus cases, hospitalizations, and passing are declining in the US, furthermore, around the world. Does this mean the pandemic is concluding? It's muddled what is driving the pattern. However, specialists say inoculations probably assume a key part. In the US, subsequent to arriving at a top at September, the quantity of new everyday COVID-19 has been fallen 35%. Tumbling COVID-19 case counts have a few schools around the US considering loosening up their rules. The quantity of new cases broadly has been diving since the Delta flood crested in mid-September. The US is averaging around 73,000 new cases each day, significantly lower than the 173,000 recorded on September 13th. Furthermore, the quantity of Americans in the emergency clinic with COVID-19 has dived by about half to around 47,000 since early September. Selena Simmons-Duffin, byline: if you check out the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's diagram of the country's day-by-day COVID-19 case counts, at the pinnacle of the Delta flood, there were around 150,000 new cases each day. That was back toward the beginning of September. Presently there are not exactly half as many cases each day, around 70,000. As CDC Director Rochelle Walensky noted recently in a press preparation, that is by all accounts, not the only measurement that is going down. Rochelle Walensky, the 7-day normal of emergency clinic affirmations was around 6,000 every day, additionally a reduction of around 10% from the earlier week. Furthermore, 7-day normal day-by-day passing were around 1,250 every day, a decline of around 4% from the earlier week. In Florida, Miami-Dade County's veil order could be released before the finish of October if the reassuring numbers proceed, and close by Broward County will examine loosening up its necessity as of late. The administrator in Metro Atlanta said he will consider foregoing cover prerequisites at individual schools. A secondary school outside Boston turned into the first in Massachusetts to make veils discretionary after it hit a state immunization edge. With around 95% of qualified individuals at Hopkinton High immunized, school pioneers cast a ballot to permit inoculated understudies and staff to go maskless for a 3-week time for testing beginning November 1st. There's motivation to be hopeful about falling COVID-19 case rates. However, specialists caution that in regions with low immunization inclusion, many individuals are currently at high danger for genuine ailment and passing from the infection. Being completely inoculated is simply the most ideal way of shielding and others from COVID-19. Japan reports no COVID-19 deaths without precedent for a year and a half. Japan's COVID-19 cases have fallen forcefully. Back in mid-August, Japan hit a pinnacle of in excess of 25,000 cases in a day. That tumbled to 151 cases in mid-October, the least number since summer a year ago. The most recent figure on Monday was 86 everyday cases, with Tokyo revealing only 9 new cases. Would we be able to anticipate comparative drops in different areas of the planet, or is it simply some typical variance? Some Japanese specialists say the infection might be transforming into self-termination, which could clarify the drop. Some experts believe that the decline in the number of cases in Japan is due to a mutation of the virus that cannot be repaired, causing the virus to self-destruct. The novel coronavirus may be coming to an end. Practically short-term, Japan has turned into a dazzling and fairly baffling COVID achievement story. Daily new COVID-19 cases have plunged from a mid-August pinnacle of almost 6,000 in Tokyo, with caseloads in the thickly populated capital now regularly under 100, an 11-month low. The bars are pressed, the trains are packed, and the mindset is celebratory, despite an overall confusion over what, precisely, is behind the sharp drop. Tokyo, November 8, Reuters, Japan recorded no everyday passing from COVID-19 without precedent for over a year on Sunday, neighborhood media said. Before Sunday, there had not been a day without a COVID-19 passing since August 2, 2020, as per account by public telecaster NHK. Many credits the inoculation crusade, particularly among more youthful individuals, for cutting diseases down. Almost 70% of the populace is completely immunized. The Japanese government likewise declared Monday it was facilitating passage limitations for unfamiliar understudies, laborers, and momentary business voyagers who are completely inoculated, have their movement plans ensured by supports, and notice 10 days of self-disconnection. Self-quarantine for Japanese residents and unfamiliar inhabitants was likewise abbreviated to 3 days from the past 10 days. Japan's plummeting COVID-19 cases create mysterious success story. With its 1.3 billion populaces, India has the world's second largest number of COVID contaminations, more than 10.8 million, yet new cases and passing have fallen forcefully as of late. This week, new day-by-day diseases were the most reduced in 8 months, while passing fell under 100, the littlest single-day complete since May. The quantity of new day-by-day cases crested at a little more than 97,000 diseases in September, with passing averaging 1,000 per day that month. Passing then, at that point, began to decrease. Later only 94 fatalities were accounted for, out of 8,635 new contaminations. India has one of the least case-casualty proportions among the main 20 most exceedingly awful impacted countries on the planet. The 30-year-old rescue vehicle driver in India's city of Mumbai has been working enthusiastically since the time the city turned into the focal point of another disastrous COVID-19 flood slicing through the country. Last month, he drove around 70 patients to the clinic, his cell phone continually vibrating with calls. In any case, 14 days, he's just conveyed 10 patients. Cases are falling, as are the calls. We used to be so occupied previously, we didn't have the opportunity to eat, he said. Somewhat recently, the number of new cases plunged by almost 70% in India's monetary capital, home to 22 million individuals. After a pinnacle of 11,000 day-by-day cases, the city is currently seeing less than 2,000 per day. Different nations are additionally seeing a slight respite. The World Health Organization recorded 9% less cases universally contrasted with a week ago. All districts of the world saw a decrease in cases except Europe. Singapore, the COVID-19 week-by-week contamination development rate was at 0.96 on Wednesday, November 3, down from 1.09 on Tuesday, said the Ministry of Health (MOH). This is whenever it first has dipped under 1.0 since MOH began revealing the figure. COVID cases likewise have dropped pointedly in South Korea. While the patterns appear to be positive, the genuine course of the pandemic is capricious and individuals should be reasonable with regards to what the end of the pandemic resembles, says Latha Baradad, PhD, educator of populace well-being sciences at Weill Cornell Medical College in Qatar. This isn't the initial time COVID-19 cases have given indications of decay. Toward the beginning of January, cases dropped across the different nations following quite a while of expanded or supported case rates. At that point, specialists forewarned those variations could drive another flood. Before long, the Alpha and Delta variations individually drove case counts up once more. Specialists say to stay wary of the infection, as the spread of new variations and changing social practices could cause another spike, particularly among under-immunized networks.